What's up, everybody? Today's October 23rd, 2019, and a couple of days ago, we received news of the passing of former Oakland Raider great Willie Brown. This man spent a couple years with the Denver Broncos, but 12 years with the Oakland Raiders, a team that he would later go on to coach for. In 1984, this man was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And on Monday, the 21st, he passed away at the age of 78. In this video, we're going to discuss the numerology of this man's death and, talk about what this really points to. Did this man die naturally? Is it possible that he was murdered by the numbers? And followers of my channel understand that I am a proponent that both things are happening. People are indeed dying by the numbers, by this natural code that we experience here within our matrix we know as the world. On the other hand, it does appear as if some people are getting murdered by this same code. This one, I have no idea, but if it is organic, then why was the football game that the Oakland Raiders played the day before coded with the same numbers that I'm going to be talking about? So in my videos, I talk about numerology with a focus on the language of Gematria. This is the ancient practice of coding numbers into words and phrases. And it's a very simple practice. We start with the alphabetic order, also known as English ordinal, where the alphabet is numbered 1 through 26, each letter assigned a number relative to its position. Using this very simple cipher, the name Willie sums to 70. And the date he died, October 21st of 2019, if you add 10 plus 21 plus 20 plus 19, you get a sum of 70. Another cipher I teach on this channel, not every video, but it does often come up, is Sumerian Gematria. This is the alphabetic order times 6. And as mythology teaches it, Sumerians are the ones credited with discovering the code of time. And the number 6, of course, very significant in time, 60 seconds a minute, 60 minutes a day, and so on. Well, in this cipher, the name Willie, which is 70 times 6, sums to 420. By now, you may be familiar with the Eclipse crucifixion code. This code of death, which seems to be encoded into the story of the death of Jesus Christ, whose death occurred as darkness fell over the sky, an event which can only be related to a solar eclipse. The death of the sun, the death of God's Son, the symbolism here is easy to see. If we measure from the date that Willie Brown died to the date of the next total solar eclipse, which are really the only eclipses that I measure to in my work, we find that his death, here on the 21st, fell exactly 420 days before that total solar eclipse. But this runs even deeper. Willie Brown was born on the date December 2nd, meaning that if you measure from his date to his next birthday, you find he died 42 days earlier. Using the S exception, something we call single reduction gematria, the word eclipse has a value of 42. This method, reducing all double-digit numbers to a single digit. The only exception is S, because S is the 19th letter. 1 plus 9 is 10. So here, eclipse equals 42. Now, when you write out the number 42, it has a value of 142. This brings us to the ordinal gematria of the name Willie Brown, which also equals 142. This 142 also the ordinal value of eclipse sacrifice. This man's death, no doubt, aligned with total solar eclipses. But the wildest part about this is that the day before Willie Brown died, the Oakland Raiders played against the Green Bay Packers. Notice how the Oakland Raiders scored 24 points in this game. Willie Brown, as is seen here on the CNN article, wore number 24 for the Oakland Raiders. And think about all that I've revealed in regards to the number 42 up to this point. Well, in order to beat the Raiders, the Packers scored 42 points. Makes you feel a little queasy, doesn't it? So we looked at how he died 42 days before his birthday. This is also 6 weeks and 0 days. Similarly, if you measure from his death to the next eclipse, you get exactly 60 weeks. Well, this is interesting because the team he played and coached for, Oakland Raiders, sums to 1960. The Oakland Raiders are in their 60th season, and their first season was in 1960. So think about it. It's 1960 to 2019. That would be their 60th season. And in reduction, Oakland Raiders, 60. Now, I want to point out that the number 33 has a value of 60 in reverse. And I'm going to explain this, hopefully quite clearly, but in almost all my videos on death by numbers, we talk about the number 33 because it sums to 895, which is the same as ritual human sacrifice, 895. The Raiders' most recent loss against the Packers in this game brought them to a record of 3-3. Also notice the Packers' record of 6-1. The name Willie Brown equals 61 in reduction. In Satanic Gematria, Oakland equals this 303. Of course, their record now 3-3, like I mentioned. But when we're talking about numbers of sacrifice, another big one is 73, because in the alphabetic order, sacrifice equals 73. In fact, ritual sacrifice equals 73 in reduction. Willie Brown's date of birth, December 2nd of 1940, had primary numerology of 73. And the team that the Raiders played the day before he died was the Packers, which equals 73. Packers sums to 28 and 44 in reduction. This is the same as kill, 44, 28. But also notice how Packers equals 116 in reverse. If you measure from the date he was born to the date he died, you get exactly 4,116 weeks. So we tapped into Satanic Gematria. This is the method where Satanic Gematria sums to 666, the number of the beast. And I wasn't actually going to go through the ending of this post because I thought it was a little confusing, but I think this does make a lot of sense. So we measured to next year's total solar eclipse. Well, this was also aligned with this year's total solar eclipse, which occurred on July 2nd. Measuring from that eclipse to the date Willie Brown died was 3 months and 19 days. Not only does the word killing equal 319, but the team he played for, Raiders, equals 319 as well. This same duration is also 15 weeks and 6 days. So, I don't often decode in Satanic Gematria. I do think it's a relevant cipher and highly legitimate, but I don't want to muddle my work up too much. However, it became obvious that this was an important cipher in this ritual. And again, this is all because of the number 666. Satanic Gematria summing to 666, the 36th triangular number, which is the first number in this cipher. Anyway, in the alphabetic order, 666 equals 156. Dying 15 weeks, 6 days after the eclipse. In Hebrew, eclipse equals 156. This is because eclipses only and always occur 1, 5, or 6 lunar phases after the most recent one. In fact, the number 33, when spelled out, equals 156. 666 is also 156. So all of this having to do with the number of the beast. In Jewish Gematria, beast equals 198. Using the alphabetic order, the name William Ferdy Brown, his full name equaling 198. His name also summing to 1440. This is the exact number of minutes in a day. 24 hours times 60 minutes gives you 1440. Mark of the beast equals 144 in the alphabetic order. I believe the circle is the mark of the beast, with time itself being the beast. In fact, time equals 47, just like beast, 47. So the mark of the beast is the circle, which equals 50. In Jewish Gematria, the circle is worth 50. And the date that he died had standard numerology of 50, 10 plus 21 plus 19. So I understand this part of the video might have been a little confusing, but what's most important is the beginning. The fact that the game the Raiders played the day before was 42-24, and then Raiders number 24 dying by the numbers of 42. Guys, this is insanity. And if you think it's hard enough to watch these games because of how poor the officiating is, once you realize that these games, or at least some of them, are theatric rituals, which are numeric tributes to dying football players, it just becomes disgustingly sick. But again, there's the off chance that this is the organic matrix at play. Again, I think it's obvious what's really going on here, but definitely wanted to share this as I thought the numerology was quite interesting. All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. That'll do it for this video. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, etc. YouTube doesn't do the work for us anymore, so that's on us. All right, guys. Peace, love, God bless. We'll talk to you next time. See ya.